we can move on to discussing the overview of the Tandem Industry Academia postdoc funding. So what is this? What is the purpose of this funding? So the funding instrument supports collaborative research projects between universities or research institutes, the governmental research organizations, and private companies. And the aim of this instrument is to fund high quality research with both strong academic excellence and clear industrial relevance. And the call is open to all scientific disciplines, and companies from any industries can act as partners in these collaborative projects. The projects are 2 years in duration, and they are carried out by a postdoctoral researcher. And during the project, the postdoc spends 12 months working in the partner company. However, they remain employed by the academic organization throughout the project. This slide summarizes the central conditions and requirements of the Tandem Industry Academia postdoc funding. First, this funding is intended for so-called pre-competitive research projects that actually create new knowledge in collaboration with industry, but are not aimed at immediate commercial outcomes. So this is scientific research that is carried out in collaboration with the company. And all of the funding is directed to the academic organization, which then hires the postdoc for the project. And the funding primarily covers or is then intended to cover the postdoc salary costs. And what is required at the application stage is a committed company partner who hosts the postdoc researcher during the project and provides necessary resources for the duration of the company period, which is 12 months of the two-year project. And the projects are expected to have academic relevance and at the same time generate results that are applicable in the practical context of the company. And both of these aspects are taken into account in the evaluation process. So they have basically equal importance when evaluating the projects. Now, a few words on eligibility and roles, or many roles. So the application is submitted by the principal investigator, the PI, who typically is a senior researcher, such as a professor or group leader, who will then act as in a supervisory role for the postdoc at the academic organization. And the postdoc should have completed their PhD naturally, but within the past 10 years. And the postdocs for these projects don't need to be appointed at the time of application, but they should be hired by the project start date. And as to the industry partner, they should be or represent a company that operates in Finland and has relevant expertise and resources for the project. And the company is also expected to appoint an industrial supervisor who is then responsible for overseeing the work on the company side. And then a few words about the postdoc appointment. So first of all, the projects should start and the postdoc researchers should be appointed within 6 months of the funding decision. So the projects should begin between the 1st of October 2026 and 31st of March 2027. And the postdoc should not have any current or previous employment relationship with the partner company, or they should not hold significant ownership or a board position in the company. And, as to the appointment of the postdoc and starting date of the project, an extension can be requested if a suitable postdoc has not been found by the planned start date. However, the foundation reserves the right to withdraw the funding if the postdoc has not been appointed within 12 months of the grant date. but there is some flexibility in the case that a suitable candidate has not been found following the initial plans. Now, this figure here illustrates the process, application, and evaluation until the final decision. So the application form has opened today in our Rimbert application management system, which can be accessed through our web pages. I will later show you where to find it. And during the application period, we offer one-to-one coaching sessions for applicants between March 18th and 25th. And a booking link is now available on our website under the funding call. And there are limited time slots available, but if you cannot find a suitable time, please contact us and we can arrange additional sessions. And after you have submitted your application by the deadline of 10th of April, the system will automatically send an invitation to the industry partner who then completes their part of the application. And it's actually the researcher's responsibility also to look after that the partner has received the invitation. It may sometimes end up in the spam folder. It does indeed. It is sent automatically from the system, but sometimes, as I said, it ends up somewhere else in the inbox. So please check from your company partner that they have received it, and maybe also remind them to submit their part on time by the 17th of April. And when you have submitted your application, you will still have another 24 hours to make changes if you realize that you want to still make some small changes or edit some attachments. So that's possible. However, we do recommend submitting the application well before the deadline and ensuring that all required documents, such as the commitment letter from the academic institution, have been obtained well in advance. And the funding decisions will be announced late August, early September. And then, as I said, the projects themselves can start earliest on October 1st in the case of a positive funding decision. Then some details about the application itself. All this information is also available on our website, but so the applications, as I said, they are submitted via the Rimbert application management system, and both the application form in Rimbert and all attachments should be prepared in English language. And this is because some of our reviewers are non-Finnish, so that they will be able to conduct the review. And in the system, you will be asked to provide basic information about the project, the applicant, and the partner company. The project budget is completed in a separate budget table in the form, so it does not need to be included in the project plan document, which is one of the central attachments that are attached to your application. So in addition to this maximum of 7-page project plan, you are asked to attach the CV and list of the most relevant publications of the PI, the CV and the list of publications of the postdoc if they are named at the time of application, and finally a letter of commitment from the academic partner. And this is the letter of commitment from the academic partner is a very standard document that you can ask from the research services of your institution. They know what you're talking about. And this letter is typically signed by the dean of your faculty or research director, depending a little bit on your institution's policies. And as to the project plan, so the references are included in the 7 pages. So maximum of 7-page project plan, including references. And the funding covers full project costs for 12 months, according to the full cost model, and the postdoc's salary, including indirect employee costs, for another 12 months, but no overheads are or no costs calculated according to the full cost model are covered for the company period for the other 12 months of the projects. Other expenses such as travel or funding for other expenses such as travel or materials can also be applied for. And as I said, once you have submitted your application, a company form will automatically be sent to the company partner. And it is a very simple form. You can also check on our website what will be asked from the company partner. But basically, they need to justify their motivation to be involved in this project and what kinds of resources they will be contributing to this project, and also what kinds of results they expect and what would be the benefit for them from these results and the collaboration in general. A few words about the evaluation process. So each application will be evaluated by two independent external reviewers. And the evaluation focuses on four main criteria: the academic impact, industrial relevance, and expected impact, but also the feasibility of the project plan and the competence and complementarity of the partners. And then based on these reviews, the Foundations Board makes the final funding decisions. Applicants will receive the written statements from the reviewers, so you will get feedback for your application regardless of the outcome. We'll say a few words about the academic impact and the industry impact, what we mean by those and what are expected to from the application. So when we refer to academic impact, we mean the kind of the scientific contribution of the project, and the projects are expected to have scientific relevance and novelty and the advanced theory methods or empirical knowledge in the field. And the applications are also expected to demonstrate the potential to generate high quality scientific output, such as peer-reviewed publications and conference contributions that move the field forward. And then one also important aspect of this academic impact is the role of the industry collaboration. So what is expected also is a clear justification of why access to the company context is essential for achieving the scientific objectives. So kind of the collaborations should strengthen the level of the research, not just be an addition to the actual research work. And in terms of the industry impact, we refer to the value the project creates for the partner company and beyond, and the potential of it to kind of contribute also beyond the immediate partner company. So in terms of company relevant output, so the successful applications would have a clear understanding of what kind of knowledge, expertise, or methods or solutions that would be directly useful for the partners' activities are developed in this project. And then, of course, we are also interested in how the results will be used in practice and what concrete improvements or developments the projects could contribute to, for example, in terms of their company processes or products or services or new business opportunities in the long run. And finally, we also look at impact beyond the partner company, meaning the potential for wider utilization in other company sectors or even the broader society, other actors of the society. And there are, so previously we had a separate impact plan, but now these impact aspects are incorporated in the project plan itself. And this actually takes me to the changes in this year's call that I will now go briefly through. So first, as I said, for those of you who are familiar with this funding instrument from previous years, so the separate impact plan document has been removed from the required application documents. And second, the project plan structure has been updated a little bit. As I said, the impact aspects have been incorporated to the project plan structure, and the maximum length has been increased from 5 to 7 pages, including references, so allowing for a more detailed description then of the impact within the project plan. And we have also made some clarifications to the budgeting guidelines, particularly regarding the definition and timing of the travel costs. So travel expenses can cover academic conferences and additionally some incidental travel expenses. And you can also allocate travel expenses to the months that are spent at the company. So they're not now restricted to the academic period of the project. In addition, there is a new restriction. Each principal investigator may submit only one application per call. And we have also added a new consideration for funding decisions in the case of applications with equal overall quality. Priority may be given to projects that initiate new collaboration. That is, partners who have not collaborated before are involved in this type of project. And finally, the funding terms have been updated a little bit. So a written agreement between the research organization and the collaboration partner should be concluded before the project starts. The agreement in which the partners agree, for example, on the ownership and use of the results. So we expect this before the funding can be paid out. And now this is our front page, from which you can find links to the description of the call, the guidelines, and also a direct link to the application system. And the application system can also be found at the end of the guideline page. And as I said, all the detailed guidelines can be found on our webpage. And if there are any questions that you do not find an answer to, you can always contact us. This here is the front page of the application system. And before logging in, you may already familiarize yourself with the content of the application form by downloading a PDF file that has all the questions that have been included or are included in the application form. And you can also check your eligibility to apply for the funding through the Can I Apply questionnaire on that page.